South Africa, because if you like, there's a lot of confusion down here in these streets about whether or not we're born again, and we are not. Like, listen, I keep saying South Africa is not a Christian country; it's a pagan land. And however, you might have, just like ancient Israel was a God-fearing country. In certain, throughout, they call themselves. It was a theocracy where it is that God was the ruling theme. Do you understand? And then they created dynasties later on because they wanted a king, etc. That was Israel. So they would always at any given time call themselves a godly nation. Yeah, Mara, calling yourself a godly nation is one thing versus actually being a godly nation. And you will know if a nation is godly. You will know if Israel is godly. You will know when Israel was godly upon reading the scriptures based on how the Lord dealt with them, right? When they were righteous, God blessed them. But when they fell into sin, idolatry, and all that jazz, they were met with being handed over a lot of times to, what do you call this? Their enemies. They were met with being handed over to their enemies, or with economic collapse, like a famine or something. That's what the Lord always did with them. So, just like I spoke in my last short, are you prosperous as a nation, given that you call yourselves a God-fearing nation? Because if you were, listen, the Lord will always rescue his people from tyrants. Look what happened in the days of Jehoshaphat. You know how the Edomites, the Moabites, and the Ammonites actually came up at Israel during Judah in the days of Jehoshaphat, and they won by just singing a praise, because a righteous king with these righteous people prayed, and it gave. So even if you are just beleaguered by an occupying force like Putin trying to go into the Ukraine, if at all the Ukraine was a righteous country truly that gave itself over to the Lord would have routed Putin and he wouldn't have been able to invade. So if your nations are being successfully invaded, and if your countries are falling apart under wicked governments, if your nations are falling apart under whatever might be a malevolent ideology, in my nation there's like a problem with black magic, paganism, ritualism, ancestral worship. If those things are all taking over Christianity, it says that you're not the real deal. It says you're not born again, because you can't make like King Jehoshaphat and petition with the Lord, cause a fast in all of Israel, and so rout and destroy the Moabites, Edomites, and the Ammonites. You can't do that. You are not succeeding to bring low those structures which are arrogant against your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, saying that among you there are only a remnant that are truly born again, and God does not rescue a country for a remnant. He rescues the remnant out of a country and then judges it for faking being in him.